In regards to you know, this having a wind state, having a wind condition. I have some experience in World War II Online, and I think the difference is in World War II Online, to get to a wind state takes months of coordinated work to get to the point where the devs say, okay, the Axis won or the Allied won. Planetside, a wind condition. You knock an empire back into its sink, it can't get out. Well, in that case, you know, it used to be you could broadcast any point in the world, now you have a home continent to go to. While actually knocking an empire back to its sink, at least on Emerald, is rare. And a world lock's even rarer still. It's only happened 4 times, 3 by the NC, 1 by the band, only on the Emerald server. You know, it ain't like World War II. I mean, you can roll through 4 or 5 continents if the one faction having a good day rather quickly. You know, I've had days where I log off at 1 a.m. in the morning, NC's got the world, or most of the world, like, hey, we're gonna win. I log in the next day, 6 in the afternoon, I have to work, it's purple. You know? That's my key, right? So, I think what you guys have hit it right on the head. I think we have a win condition, but we have, you know, if we could, again, folks, post on the official forum, get ideas. If we could engineer it in such a way that, you know, you may have some sort of win condition, but the side of getting the crap kicked out of us, and see, have a way of, and a believable way. Maybe you have to buff them somehow, but maybe that's a believable buff. Maybe, you know, you can jump off the orbital station and everyone has like special shield that you can only get at the orbital station. I don't know. That gives them just enough advantage to get a foothold on the world again and then push out from there again. Whether that means that there's sanctuary strikes, or that simply means that, you know, you can, at the end, CCR5s can vote and say, okay, we can make this one continent go neutral, or this one continent turn our other, any continent in the world. You know, something like that. So if you guys got ideas, you know, post them. I think orbital strikes would be wipes out a continent.
How about just some of the population? There's really nice populations. Really easy.
Maybe make the losing factions just powerful. They have enough, like, you know, I've seen some weird buffs, like some people running around like 180 HP because the population balances out that. So that in fact makes them just hard enough to kill, where that gives them the ability to at least get a foothold, and then that way from there push off. Because I mean, guys, how often do you see a sanction? I mean, it's rare. I mean, at that point, most of the rangers are like, hey, the band, we're having barbecues back in their sank because they're not going anywhere. Everything.
The other concern that I keep thinking about, you know, because I have discussions occasionally, is there's the whole, you know, 1 a.m., 2 a.m. thing. We're afraid that, oh, everyone's just, you know, someone's just going to roll through the world when nobody else is on the server, and then it's going to be kind of like a cheap victory or whatever. So that's another something to think about when you post your
Well, maybe
ideas.
that's what you do is you just have, like, you have to control it for a certain period of time to prevent that. So, another thing I think I like about the notion of some sort of end game is that it solves one problem that I've run into a lot as a CR5, is that there's the need to take over the world mentality and the need to have a fun battle mentality. Yes. Because there's really no reason you need to take over the world as such. You know, it's like, so there are a lot of people who like to do that because it's more like a chess game thing, and there are a lot of people who would just rather just fight the good fight, the last phase, you know, and really make a good stand. And I think that gives an incentive for both of those sides to agree on one goal to, you know, to wipe out the bad guys.
And
all right, anybody else? Anything new? Come on up.
Hey, did you make it? That's now bunny shirt, right?
Yes, it is.
yeah, I love that.
You can't go wrong with no man. Talking to other command rank people, there seems to be a problem with communication amongst leaders because, you know, command rank 5s really can't talk to 4s and down to 3 and 2. So,
what you say?
I'm only 4, I'm not 5 like a lot of you guys probably. But, so perhaps has there ever been a discussion of the idea of like a command post where maybe squad leaders on a continent can receive certain communications from, you know, command rank 5s who are running the whole show to help coordinate bigger attacks besides, you know, one-line things, attack here or defend this?
So the answer to that is, we do recognize that that's actually one of the weaker aspects of the game, is you know, the whole command structure and getting communication between the different levels of command. That currently, we're looking at that, and there's some design docs which I'm not that familiar with, but there are some design docs on what we're talking about doing, and I think we're going to try to do something as far as command structure before the end of the year. Not exactly what that is, like I said, I'm not sure. But yeah, I think we're going to do something pretty soon about that.
And also, one more for you. When, like, you know, you have battle frames coming out and other new toys probably, when you guys decide you want to come out with a new weapon or vehicle, how much is there a collaboration saying, okay, this is what we want to do, what can you come up with? Do you guys spend a lot of time talking, or they just said do it and then you draw it?
There you go.
We try both techniques, and in some cases it works, in some cases it doesn't, because when you get too many cooks in the kitchen, you get something that turns out really ugly. Or you get, but everybody does get, like, when the final design is come up with, everybody gets a say in it, everybody on that team, everybody's opinionated, and there's people who want to be, you know, who are on all teams, and they always play devil's advocate, so we try to think, I mean, a lot of the stuff I see on the boards, we've thought of, because someone's always like, well, that's not fair if that TR weapon does that, because then it's going to totally own on this, or, you know, vice versa, or something like that.
Also, to add to that just a little bit, we're going to try, or I'm trying to, it's difficult to do, change the way we're developing just a little bit, in that I want to try to come up with simpler designs and then implement them in a simple fashion, and then give ourselves time to tweak things. You know, okay, let's put it in and see how it works. Is it fun? Is it not fun? Okay, it'd be more fun if we did this. You know, a lot more ideas come out once it's actually implemented. And I think in the past what we've done is we budget how much time we have to work on something, and we spend all our time to the very last second and then some, you know, implementing it, very complicated. And then we don't have any time to tweak it, and we put it out there, and people go, well, yeah, well, why don't you just do this? Or, yeah, why don't you just do that? And we're always like, well, we just spent 10 months working on it. We don't have enough time to do it. So what we're going to try to do, and it's actually hard to do this, because everyone has great ideas about, you know, having something cool right after that. But try to do it a little bit simpler, and then, you know, tweak it and make it better. And I think we did that a little bit with the new interstellar map interface this time around, and I think it came out, it's a little confusing, I do hear you guys, but it came out, you know, better than if we would have tried to do something crazy right after that. So.
Anybody else? My man, Eric.
Something I wanted to add to real quick that Electro Freak Knows brought up about commanders. Have you ever thought of a place for them to go to better command their troops, like an orbital station where they have a better set of tools and apps? Or maybe a command vehicle or a command post where they can just focus on commanding the troops. And
How about we put it in the orbital station?
how about get a little command room, cushy chairs, you know?
So, T-Ray, can you talk about the, some of the old art for like that was reading of the century?
Yeah, you can. I don't know, see it though. It brings a tear to my eye. Well, yeah, if you guys knew how much stuff we removed, it would be really, really bad. Yeah, the original sanctuaries were actually just one complete building that had like everything you needed in it. You know, it had vehicle stations, it had meeting rooms, it had a bunch of stuff that you didn't even need to use. I mean, just a bunch of stuff. And it was really, really big. It was the equivalent of, I would say, probably 5 or 6 tech plants. So it was pretty.
Wow. Lag fest.
It was seriously long. It was built in 4 quadrants. Each quadrant was the same. So if you could go into one quadrant, you can get everything in that one quadrant. You didn't have to go to the other side of the building to do it. But that's how big it was. You know, it was duplicated like 4 times over.